How much true crime is on Johnny Cash's acting CV? Karen Black and Johnny Cash in a gunfight. Does that 1971 flick count towards Cash's Betsy RP? Paramount Pictures. Last October, the legendary Johnny Cash was the subject of a culture-baiting attempt by the Wall Street Journal that claimed he wasn't considered cool, which is hilarious because Johnny Cash is out here looking like this on a postage stamp. Johnny Cash stays cool even in a Wikipedia entry where he's pictured posing with two different Republican presidents. Cash visits Richard Nixon at the White House in 1972. Hilariously, the AI alt-text app thought this was Pesci and De Niro. Nixon Library. Compare Cash to fellow icons Elvis or Sinatra and he outcools both of them without lifting a finger. Like them, Cash wasn't just a musician, but had a side hustle as an actor, with a career that was spotty but ranged over 5 decades. So let's run a Betsy RP, the best evidence true crime resume percentage on Mr. Folsom Prison Blues himself. The first challenge is working out just how many acting credits the man in black had, which isn't as easy as looking at IMDb and taking out all the music videos. Their usual infallible listings have a couple of omissions, so I turned to the official Johnny Cash website and the movie database to fill in the blanks. My final count of eligible appearances is 32, and I'll put a finger in the air and guess he will score a 20. This is not a BWRP, pronounced burp, audit of Western properties, otherwise Cash would have a John Wayne-style sweep. His early acting work is across a handful of the many cowboy shows that used to make up TV schedules, and the only crime-related property is the intriguing Shotgun Slade, a mystery western hybrid series. Then there's his movie debut, 1961's 5 Minutes to Death, aka Door-to-Door Maniac, a home invasion noir that could well be inspired by the Hill family case or the story of Billy Cook, but there's not enough connective tissue for our purposes. No point so far, but considerably more badass than Elvis, who spent 1961 making Blue Hawaii. Cash gets in the ring for points in the 70s with The Trail of Tears, 1970. Maybe his best acting performance as John Ross, who looked more like Johnny Cash than Joaquin Phoenix ever did. This is a stagey, didactic, made-for-TV affair, clearly made with a budget of about $3, but the result is deeply poignant. Plus it opens with Andrew Jackson afflicted with diarrhea, which is no less than he deserved. Real-life crimes plus name figure. 3 as tempting as it is to stop to make a case for both Gospel Road, A Story of Jesus, starring June Carter Cash as Mary Magdalene, and the meta-commentary of 1971's A Gunfight, we travel onwards to the 1980s for some textbook true crime. Murder in Coweta County, 1983, is based on Margaret and Barnes's Edgar-nominated book about John Wallace, a landowner who ran his own personal fiefdom in Meriwether County, Georgia. Wallace's reign of terror ended when he traveled to nearby Coweta County to pistol-whip Wilson Turner, a former tenant of his, to death. In the TV movie based on Barnes's book, Cash doesn't play the evil Wallace. Instead, he's the soft-spoken Sheriff Lamar Potts who tracks Wallace down. Wallace is played by Andy Griffith, and you are not prepared for Matlock dropping the N-bomb, then shooting someone in cold blood within 5 minutes. This is a bit of a hidden classic, co-starring June Carter Cash as real-life figure May Haley Lancaster, who also testified in the Leo Frank lynching case. Rounding up to 4 points, as while it didn't receive any Emmy attention, it was shortlisted for an Edgar. The Last Days of Frank and Jesse James, 1986, starring Johnny Cash moustache as Frank James. This is fun but unmemorable aside from the Wikipedia entry that opens. The main cast is made up of country music all-stars, including June Carter Cash, David Allan Coe, Lucille Harris, Willie Nelson, and Marsha Cross. Marsha's CMA is long overdue. Anyway, an easy 3.